Hi, I'm Niels Larsen from Nektar Technology. I'm at Sweetwater Sound to show you the Nektar Panorama P-4. P-4 is a great controller for Reason. Propellerhead's Reason software, that's a complete door. And the main thing about Panorama is that we are making it really simple for you to navigate around Reason. We have an incredible deep workflow and everything is mapped out automatically for you. Let's start with the mode buttons. Above the display we have buttons that automatically switch between mixer mode, instrument mode, transport mode, and internal. Mixer mode controls the mixer, the big mixer in Reason, and it completely controls it in its entirety. So first, I have the ability to control up to 8 channels at one time, as well as banking over. Changing tracks changes the focus of the channel that I'm operating with, but I can control panning up here for all 8 channels at a time, or changing the assignment of the encoders above the faders, for example, to effect send levels. Below the faders, I have LED buttons. The LED buttons allow me to do things like muting the channels or soloing them. I'll go back to select. And select has a purpose because we also have the ability to control the entire channel strip within the mixer mode. So selecting any channel will allow me to now change the EQ for that channel. So let's press the EQ button, and the most important thing is being able to switch on the EQ. Now I can change all the parameters. It's really a lot faster than using the mouse. Going back to the main menu, I have access to dynamics, inserts, and sends, and the menu button even gives you complete access to the master section, including the compressor. In instrument mode, everything changes. It's like having a whole new control surface available, and we are now controlling the rack. In here, you'll see, let's look at the navigation in the display. First, the track name, then the mixer channel that track is assigned to, and the device. This information is also available in mixer mode. And this is really easy to navigate around because of this. So if I change the track, I can always see what device I'm operating. And the display also tells me what patch I'm operating. And I can just quickly change that, moving the fader. We have the 8 encoders to the right of the display controlling some of the most commonly used parameters, including the rotary 1 and 2 here for Thor, filter, and resonance. And the faders are by default assigned to control envelopes. So in this case, I know without even looking at the display that I'm controlling amp envelopes with the first 4 and filter envelopes with the second lot of 4 faders. If I want to see the menus, I can just press menu and select envelopes. Now I can see their status. In fact, I can select any of the menus. In this case, within Thor is a very, very deep and comprehensive synthesizer, and every single aspect of it is mapped out for you. You don't need to do a thing. Even the sequencer. I can change the notes here, or jump right back and change oscillators. So all of this is in complete real time. And that's the case for all of the devices. Let's look at, for example, a device that is maybe a percussion device where you'd want to use the pads. So here I have redrum. And the sounds in redrum are automatically mapped out to the pads. You don't need to worry about it. That's all done for you. All you need to do is basically start playing. You of course also here have the ability to control a variety of different parameters. So here I can change the patterns, I can solo the pads or mute them. And the same of course would be the case for Kong. So going to Kong, I'm able to control all the menus for Kong. So that's how instruments work. and it's very easy and straightforward to get to operate. Going to transport mode, here I have the overview of my track and song that I'm working with. So I have the ability to, for example, change tempo. I can change my left and right locators. So in this case, I'm going to change it to a 2-bar loop. And I can tap the tempo and basically control all the transport-related parameters that I have available, so I don't have to go to the computer every time. This basically makes workflow incredibly easy when you're being creative. You just want to be able to record things and change on the fly, and Panorama allows you to do that. Let's take a look at the pads section. So first I'm going to change the track, and I have a whole load of drum sounds mapped out across the keyboard here, and the pads are playing some of them. Going to pad mode, as you saw, we can map out all the recent drums automatically if you're using Kong, but actually the pads can be used for any device. So for example, if I have a device with a lot of percussion sounds mapped out across the keyboard, I may want to try different combinations real quick. The best way to do that is to go into pad map mode and use our learn function. So here I'm going to simply just select a pad, press a key. Select a pad, press a key. And keep going like this. And eventually I will have a selection of sounds mapped out on the pads exactly the way I want it. Very quick and very easy to do. There's also more experimental options, such as the scale mode. The scale mode allows us, for example, to play a chromatic scale. So I don't need to create a chromatic scale if that's what's needed, but I can also change, for example, to a major scale, or use our interval mode to spread out even further. So this is great when you have a big collection of sounds, you just want to try different combinations. It's real fast and real quick to work with. In internal mode, which is the fourth mode that we have here, pads are actually part of that, but here you have the ability to program the control surface entirely to your liking. So here we have basically MIDI control edit. If I enter that mode, I'm able to select any controller, and then I can assign whatever message I want. And the parameters are instantly changed. It's very, very easy and clear what you're operating. So you can just change it on the fly. This is probably the easiest controller keyboard that you have ever worked with. We also have a 100mm Alps motorized fader built into Panorama. And this follows your track movements wherever you go. So if I'm changing the track on a channel, the fader basically changes position. And you can always update immediately the volume of the channel that you're on by just moving the fader. So very quick and very fast. In addition, you have solo and mute. So it's always, no matter what mode you're in, always within reach. We also have the ability to send QWERTY keystroke commands from Panorama to your DAW. And with Reason, I've set this up so that I can actually create a device from my favorites list. And pressing one button here will now create a track in my arrangement. And I'm able to now play a loop using Dr. X. If I create another track, let's just change the patch to something else. Now I can layer that. And in fact, if I want to just quickly create yet a third instrument, I now have the start of a composition. And you can just keep going like this with your favorites. QWERTY macros really can be used for a lot of different things, including closing and opening songs for live set lists, and of course just operating Reason or any DAW that you might want to operate in this way. So that was a quick overview of the Nektar Panorama P-4. If you need additional information, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.